Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Right, the other day I did the biggest, most powerful ship in the US Navy, and I asked you guys to recommend a video on submarines, and this was one of the recommendations. And Garen actually wants to check it out because he thinks they look cool, whereas I think they are freaking terrifying.
I'd like to go in there, but I wouldn't like to stay in there for long because they just have to stay.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Those are. I think this is a nuclear powered. It's got nuclear reactors in there, so it doesn't have to refuel or anything.
Can it send missiles underwater?
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in there that freaks me out. And it seems very claustrophobic to me.
Yeah, and I think there's when you're driving it. Apparently there's really lots of buttons to press.
Well, yeah, we're probably going to see that. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get in there. I'd be too scared. Garen could go alone. I'd stay on the boat. But you get car sick, so I'm assuming you'll get sick in there. Anyway, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well give the video a like as well. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee and a Patreon page link down in the description if you want to check that out. And without further ado, let's get into a rare look inside a nuclear-powered submarine, the USS Florida.
We approach the USS Florida in the eastern Mediterranean as it prepares for a highly classified mission.
So this is 18,000 tons we're looking at.
18,000 tons.
A nuclear-powered U.S. Navy guided missile submarine, 160 crew on board.
They call it the silent.
Look how small the people are.
What the? Isn't that 18,000
service for a reason.
18,000 tons.
All those missions are some of the most highly classified that we do.
They deploy underwater for up to 120 days, several months at a time. We are given rare access as we board the submarine.
Underwater.
Thank you.
Rear Admiral William Houston describes where we are standing, just above the Tomahawk missiles.
This could lift up at any time.
That's where the
This could
missiles
lift
come
up
out.
at any time on order if we wanted to launch the Tomahawk missiles.
And how many Tomahawks are we
this
sort of
for
standing on right here?
Right now, 7.
They have more than 100 Tomahawk.
It's more for security than. I mean, it is used in war, but they patrol so much.
Hawks at the ready, and he points out
Look how
something
big
else.
it is.
We won't go any further, but you're literally standing 10 to 20 feet from an operational nuclear reactor right now.
They are about to take us down into the
Look how you
submarine,
get in.
where we will spend the next
No
24
way.
hours traveling with them.
There's no
A
way.
maze of narrow hallways
Look at it.
and hatches.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Every inch of the submarine is used. They give me a harness
Your head's gonna go right in between there.
as we prepare to climb to the top of the
Would
sub,
you go in still?
to the bridge.
Yeah.
We wait
You
for
would.
word.
Control bridge, send ABC to the bridge.
There's all the
Up the
buttons.
ladder
Oh, he's
through
going up
several
now to
hatches.
the bridge.
They tell you when it comes to your hands and your feet, make sure
Flippin'
3
heck,
out of
bro.
4 are touching at all times. We climb several floors to meet the captain and members of his crew waiting atop the USS Florida. We make it to the
Look
bridge.
at in there. They like this. Hey, move
Yeah.
over, mate. I got an itchy bum. Look how
We
small it
find
is.
they are on patrol as the submarine leaves port, preparing to descend into the sea.
They're going under now. Well, they have
Back
to go
down
in first.
inside the submarine, Captain Seth Burton
Watch.
takes us past the missile tubes, holding
Oh,
the
those are
Tomahawks.
missile tubes.
So inside this tube right here,
7 missiles.
7 Tomahawk missiles.
And we take note that
Flippin'
in
heck.
between the curtains drawn,
I think that's where
the
they sleep.
sailors sleep.
So the sailors are actually sleeping in between the Tomahawk missiles.
No
Inside
way.
the submarine control room,
These guys and girls are so brave. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I think this
they
guy.
are
Watch
about to
this guy.
deliver the order to descend.
Submersion ship, dive out.
Look at all the buttons.
What the?
They're diving.
A camera shows the submarine disappearing.
Yeah,
underwater
gives me
surface.
goosebumps.
Yeah, it's a bit scary.
Eventually
when you
descending
get that.
400, 500, more than 600 feet
600
beneath the
feet.
surface of the sea.
What?
They train to move the submarine as carefully and as
Oh my
quickly
god.
as possible.
You'd be so I'd be so confused with all those
Soon we are
buttons.
all leaning.
Look how they're leaning.
No effort.
Look.
It is precision work in these waters of the
'Cause it's
eastern
diving.
Mediterranean. Not long after, we are leaning in the other direction.
I mean, this is a 20-degree lean, right?
They're in a fool.
As they pull back, they have to be ready to
He's
make
dry.
these
He's
moves.
like
There
controlling
are
it.
others here too.
We've put this submarine
crazy.
right in this eastern portion of the Mediterranean to counterbalance the Russia buildup in Syria.
Do you
Russia.
have
I
company
think this
here in
is
the
an old
Mediterranean?
video though.
We do have plenty of company. The Russians are
Because the
very
Russians have got
active,
lots of submarines, yeah, that are
and
patrolling.
we're active with them.
See?
Bridge helm passing 270 to the left.
The U.S.,
you
aware
do
of the
it?
Russians, are trying to send a
Still
message.
bad for
The
all
Russians
the
Fair
have
play.
demonstrated their willingness to use missiles from submarines.
Move back a bit, boy,
They did from
otherwise
the Black
I'm
Sea
pooing your
into
pants,
Syria,
son.
and now the Russians are here.
You
to
wouldn't
North.
last long in there with that smell. They'd kick you out.
They absolutely are. And we're watching them very, very closely.
You are.
So, yeah.
He's a
they're
serious
not
guy,
even-
isn't he?
We're not watching them every single day.
He's a
Are they watching
serious
us?
bloke.
I think they'd like to watch us.
In fact, the
is that
Russians
the
recently
Russians
showing
or-
their own underwater muscle in
That's
the
all.
Barents Sea.
Oh my
And just
God.
days ago, testing their new
Russia's attacking
sea-based
them.
No,
ballistic
this is,
missile.
they're just
It's
showing their
not lost
power.
on anyone what we've seen from the Russians in just the last week and a half.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why we're here.
At night, we watch as they use a periscope with an infrared camera above the water.
Initial search complete.
the
Hold no
submarine.
contacts.
So we're alone.
We are alone. Nobody's there, which is good.
We crawl through another hatch
Keep leaning
and
back,
snake our
boys.
way to the nuclear reactor.
Coming through.
And soon we are standing in front of the hatch they have sealed off.
We're
Nuclear
basically
reactor,
traveling
man.
on the submarine with a nuclear reactor.
Absolutely. We can operate more than 90 to 120 days submerged. And the reason is because that reactor
They can go 90 to 100 and something days submerged because they've got a nuclear reactor. They don't have to come up for air or anything. They can stay underwater for that long.
Jeez.
Flipping
gives us
heck.
all the power we need.
Imagine staying
And we
underwater
ask,
for 3
who
months.
is behind the hatch?
The team back there is about 11 watchstanders, highly trained nuclear operators,
And this submarine has only been refueled once.
only once.
And that nuclear power also produces oxygen on board.
Yeah, look, it
while
makes
under the
oxygen
sea,
and everything.
we are taken to the room where they monitor it all.
When you're 500 or 600 feet below the surface, you got to use the resource you have, which is water.
Right.
We're breaking down demineralized water into
Oh, they use the
oxygen,
water
hydrogen.
to make the
So
oxygen.
we make approximately twice as much hydrogen as we do oxygen. We then send that hydrogen overboard.
When it
crazy,
hits the
isn't it?
electricity here, it breaks it into hydrogen and oxygen.
Yes, sir.
And there is something
Oh.
else about the USS Florida. It is always ready for U.S. Special Forces, for Navy
yeah, the
SEALs,
Special
their weapons
Forces.
already on board.
Oh, their weapons are already
We are
there.
about to climb to see the small compartment attached to the top of the submarine.
Jesus, I'd be
Navy
scared.
SEAls, U.S. Special
I'd be
Forces
holding your
will
hand. I'd be
deploy
like, Karen,
right
look
into
after
the
me.
water.
I'm
Keep in
starting
mind,
to,
the
like,
submarine is still
regret
hundreds of
about
feet
going
beneath
there.
the sea.
I don't know.
This is the
I
dry
think
deck
you'd be
shelter
alright.
on top of the
I'd like
submarine.
to.
In
Look,
fact,
you
we're
see all
still
the
about
little seats?
200 feet beneath the surface of the Mediterranean here in this
That's
room.
where
This is
the
where the Navy
Special
SEAls
Forces
would
go.
deploy, and a Navy SEAL delivery vehicle of some sort. And in fact, the only thing separating me from the intense pressure of the water is this black hatch.
Ugh.
And in fact, if you listen,
There's
you can
water
actually
there.
hear the water.
There's no way you'd
And
get me
on
out.
board, there is
there's
one more
missiles.
powerful weapon, the torpedo.
As a captain, you
Look at
always
the
want to
size
be
of them.
And,
So this one here,
right.
See, it's
They
ready
have
to be
8 of them
shot.
on board this submarine.
shot loaded.
One of them already marked war shot loaded. And it turns out that
Oh my
every one of these
goodness.
torpedoes is tested multiple times before it's put
Jeez,
into place.
one little
on a guided
mistake
missile
under there,
submarine.
bro.
Yeah, imagine
These
if
torpedoes
it
were
hits
shot
the
5
top and
times
it's-
successfully as an exercise torpedo. The engine compartment, the afterbody, and the
I think you'd be good in there.
nose group.
You're
the guys
small
who
as well.
over the
Yeah,
weapon
so for me,
before it can be
it's good
certified to
that
carry
way.
a war shot. So these weapons have actually had runtime.
Petty Officer Isamar Drake conducts a test run of the tube itself.
Shooting 2-4.
What the heck is that?
So the force that was
Jesus,
being
she
released
didn't
in there
even
was the
flinch. I'm
2,000
sitting here
pounds
looking
of air
back.
going in through the firing valve into the turbine injection, which is pretty much like a jet engine, spinning it up,
Oh,
which
there is.
just ejects
Hold
it
on,
out
he's
like a
telling you what
turbine
you're
injection. And there was the 2,000 pounds of air going in through the firing valve
Oh,
into
they
the
just
turbine
in the
injection, which
firing
is pretty
valve.
much like a jet engine, spinning it up,
2,000
which just
pounds.
ejects it out like a giant water cannon.
We have
Okay.
torpedoes that
2,000
will
pounds of
basically
Look at the
eliminate any
size of that.
submarine or surface ship if needed.
if needed.
If needed.
Captain Burton is the
That
commanding
captain
officer
guy
of
doesn't
the
seem to
USS
take any
Florida.
nonsense,
You
does
just
he?
look at the region, and you've got ISIS in northern
You're very yawny. I think you need to start having earlier nights, eh?
Africa. You've got what's going on the Turkey-Syria border right now. The fact
And you
that
got
you're
what's
here
going
in
on
the
in Ukraine
Mediterranean,
right
does
now,
that
eh?
give you a set of silent eyes for the U.S.?
Absolutely.
I tell you what,
It
these
gives
guys,
them
man.
eyes where no one knows that they're being looked at.
Yeah.
Captain Burton is aware of the Russians, too.
And the Russians have found a way to signal to you, we're here in the Mediterranean too.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're here.
And do you let them know that you know they're here?
That's why I'm here.
And on this submarine, as you
He
walk
don't-
down
they
those
don't
narrow
play.
hallways,
Wait.
just enough room to get by, These sailors
What does the
often do not
Russians do
know
to them?
the classified mission.
Well, it's always like a cat and mouse game, isn't it? They're watching what the Russians are doing, and the Russians are watching
Oh,
what
so
the...
they're like spying.
Basically, yeah. I mean, they got to keep it... That's what the American submarine's there for, to keep an eye on things, make sure everything stays...
Why would they do that?
Well, because the world's a crazy place. Like, it's a bit hard to answer a question that a lot of us don't even know the bloody answer to at the moment, isn't it?
On the horizon. They do know they're here in the Eastern Mediterranean and that they're ready.
All right, good evening, everyone.
There's that saying that lots of people say. I won't say it to you because it's a swear word.
That I can't tell you about here on the mess decks. You're in a very dangerous part of the world right now.
And tonight, the USS Florida,
Dangerous
now
part.
on that classified mission.
Nobody knows where it's at in the Mediterranean at any one time.
No one knows where it is.
Including now.
It's like a
I'm
ghost.
David Muir for Nightline in
Wait,
the
no
Eastern
one knows where
Mediterranean.
the submarine is.
That's what he's just saying, that no other people that are trying to find the submarine, like the Russians and that, they don't know where it is. Because it's like a ghost, isn't it? It goes underwater. And not only that, they've probably got the same thing as the planes have got, like the radar, so that the radar can't see them. It's freaking scary stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I really flip and take my hats off to those guys. I won't now because I haven't shaved my head and you'll see exactly how much I'm balding. But, but it's crazy, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Does it scare you? Or does it make you feel safer knowing that those guys are out there looking after everyone?
I don't know. It feels me safe, but if I'm in there, then I'd probably at night. I don't know why. It just feels like more scary at night.
Yeah, but the lights are on in there.
Yeah, I know, but especially from outside.
I think the hardest part being in there is you won't know if it's night or day.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're underwater.
Only if you know the time. Like if there's
Yeah.
a clock or something.
Well, I don't know. I just couldn't get on a submarine. Put me on a boat rather. On a boat I should be okay. I've done a lot of sea fishing and stuff when I was younger in South Africa, but...
I'd feel more safe if there wasn't the bombs there. 'Cause just think, one mistake happens and they crash into like a rock or something.
Yeah, but there's so many safety procedures on there, isn't there? Those guys know exactly. They are top of the top range blokes on that, working on there, and the woman on there. They know what they're doing. And those things are tested. He said those torpedoes are tested 5 times before they bring them on there to make sure that they work. Crazy, isn't it? So cool. So cool, but so scary. I'm thankful for these guys and girls who look after us. I really, really am. You should be too, because if it wasn't for men and women like these, we wouldn't have the freedoms we have today. We'd be living... God knows how we'd be living, to be honest with you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Garen's probably going to go for a sleep now because he is having way too many late nights. He's on summer holiday, but that's all right, eh? Did you tell them you got a snake?
Oh, yeah. I got like a week ago?
No, like 3 days ago, 4 days ago.
We went to behind Mikuláš in Slovakia, and I got myself my first corn snake.
And how big is he?
Like a meter and something.
1.2 meters. He's a big snake, actually.
If I have him like this, and he's a bit more bigger than after when I have my hand stretched out.
Yep, so we set up his vivarium and everything. He's a happy boy. We're going to take him out tonight because the corn snake has decided to make himself a burrow under all the new substrate we put in there, but we've got some hards in that for him. So Garen's going to be able to hold his snake for tonight.
We fed him also like before yesterday.
Yeah, 3 days ago.
Yeah. And he took that really quick. I didn't even see that he opened his mouth.
Anyway, we better go let you guys go. This is longer than it should be. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we will see you all soon.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.